Welcome to Janus Corporation's Ergonomics training. This training could also be titled How to Work Smart, Not Hard, while avoiding unnecessary injuries and ailments. What is ergonomics? Ergonomics is the study of people's efficiency in their working environment. This is not how well you do your job, but rather how well you use the tools you are given and your body to complete various aspects of your job. A major ergonomics myth. Most people believe that you should stretch before you exercise. This is a prevalent myth even in sports. When you stretch cold muscles, you actually stretch the ligaments and tendons more than the muscle. This can cause injury both while stretching and afterwards. If you warm the muscles up before stretching, your stretch is much more effective as you stretch the muscles, the ligaments, and the tendons together. Many of today's athletes use a dynamic warm-up that stretches both muscles and ligaments and tendons, but then they do their stretching after they've exercised, not before. Let's look at common issues with computers. Some of the problems inherent with long hours of computer use, one of them is eye strain. Here are some solutions to eye strain associated with long hours of computer use. Use a light gray screen background rather than bright white. High resolution screens. Increased screen contrast and sharpness. No lighting from behind you because the light will reflect on the screen. Large enough fonts to read from 24 to 30 inches away. And then blue light blocker glasses work like sunglasses in the daytime, only this blocks the blue light from the computer, which can stress your eyes. Repetitive motion of typing. Some solutions to repetitive motions of typing associated with long hours of computer use. Type lightly. Do not pound on the keys. Take breaks and stretch your fingers without cracking your knuckles. Use good posture. Don't place wrists on the keyboard or a wrist rest. Occasionally change your mouse to one of a different shape and size, and keep your hands warm. Take frequent breaks from typing. Make sure all pieces of furniture are adjusted, positioned, and arranged to minimize strain on all parts of the body. Your keyboard should not be above your elbows. Your elbows should be close to your body, but not too high up and not too wide out. So some of the common problems with posture when sitting. You want to relax your shoulders, but do not slump. Your feet need to be flat on the floor. Sit up straight and place the screen high enough to look straight at it or slightly up at it. Some of the problems inherent with overhead work. Keep shoulders and neck strong. Keep shoulders flexible. Stretch, but only after shoulders have been warmed up. Take breaks as required to prevent excess stress and or cramping of the shoulders and the neck, and get as close to the work as you can. Use tools that get you close to the work or allow you to remain remote or away from the work when those tools are available. Awkward loads can become dangerous when working overhead. Do not lift heavy loads above shoulder height. The weight of the load can shift, causing it to fall. Do not reach out too far from the body, even if your back is straight, and use mechanical lifts when available to do the lifting for you. Some of the problems with overhead work include debris falling on you. Use proper PPE, including face shields. Be close to your work, but not necessarily directly underneath it. Some of the problems inherent with pressure points, bad pressure points, where work, like typing, causes the arm or wrist to press against the edge or corner of a keyboard or a horizontal surface, or where work leads to part of the body pressing against a hard surface, perhaps cutting off circulation. Tight spaces can cause multiple pressure points, the hip, the knee, the leg, the arm, the back, the buttocks, others as well, to become sore or cause muscle cramps. However, there are good pressure points as well. The body has numerous pressure points where massaging them can relieve pain caused by overuse of muscles, joints, and tendons. Massaging a trigger point in your neck can relieve pain in your shoulders, and a trigger point in your thigh can relieve pain in your knee. The hands, wrists, and feet are full of trigger points. It's important to use large muscle groups when you can. This includes the hamstrings, glutes, quadriceps, back, and chest. Lifting is another ergonomic myth. Very important to lift heavy loads correctly in order to avoid injury. It is not always better to lift them with your legs instead of your back. When you lift heavy loads, the important things to do are, most importantly, keep the load as close to the body as possible. This goes for lifting up or lifting down. Have a wide base with your feet and a clear path to where you want to put the item when you've lifted it. Lift the load using a solid two-handed grip. If necessary to move the load sideways, turn your body while holding the load. Don't twist your body. Lift and lower the materials in a smooth, steady way. Don't jerk the lift. Once you've lifted the load, hold the load as close to your belly button as possible, both close to the body and at that height. While it's not always necessary to lift with your legs instead of your back, It is typically easier to keep the heavy load close to your body with a lift using your legs rather than a lift where your back is doing the lifting for you. Heavy lifts, you can use a two-person technique where both people follow the proper lifting technique, or use mechanical means of lifting the object. Lifting straps can help significantly with heavy loads. A two-man lift and carry is often the best way when the load must be transported from one place to another, or you can use a vertical hydraulic lift table to lift or lower the load for you once it's placed on the table. Use tools as they were meant to be used. These tools are not being used correctly. Things to remember about ergonomics. Computer screens should be at eye level or slightly above, and your posture in your chair should be good. Never lift heavy loads above shoulder level without help. Always lift heavy objects close to your body, typically lifting with your legs. Pressure points are locations on your body that become sore if overworked or are pressed against by other solid objects during the work. Massaging pressure points can relieve pain in that location and other locations of the body. Always use the proper tool for the job. Thank you for taking Janus Corporation's ergonomics training. Please proceed to the quiz.